I'm kind of wondering maybe if I should start converting more of my worlds over to be factories, just so that I can produce enough ships to be able to potentially take this on. Although I'm going to need tech if I'm going to take on this Praetorian Scourge. I mean, just look at this. That's absurd. That's insanity. Our fleets have begun to arrive at their destination on the edge of the Vivesandia Ravener space, and I think I have time to deal with the Vivesandia before I need to deal with the Praetorian Scourge. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. There are multiple crises flagging up here, and we need to be prepared to deal with all of them. We're going to continue to produce more fleets. Do I have room for more Titans? No, I've used up all 4 of my Titan-sized ships, so I can't have any more. But I can do this and continue to produce fleets. Cost me 19,000 alloys. They'll get made eventually. Need to keep our shipyards busy. We basically are going to be continuously building ships. We're getting about 1,000 alloys per month, and eventually we're going to be taking losses that are greater than that. Okay, so there's 2 planets here. Let's get 1 fleet and 2 fleets to bombard while we take these 2 fleets onwards. It looks like they're building an etherophasic engine frame. Fully upgrading this megastructure will win the game. Interesting. So it gives you 100 naval capacity. I wonder if this is part of their crisis mechanic. They seem to have multiple megastructures roaming around the galaxy. Regardless, I'm going to make it my mission to conquer that off of them. I could blow up some planets with the toxic god, but I don't think that's going to be part of my plans. I don't necessarily think that that is in my favor. Let's take a look at these garrisons. Honestly, the garrisons on these worlds are small enough to where we probably don't need to bombard them very much. Let's go ahead and just break this in half. Get a general for each half. So we have 2 generals now occupying both of these, and then we're just going to immediately land armies, and then we can get these fleets on the move. We've got a lot of planets over here to conquer, and there might be a lot of stuff that we need to take care of. So unlike the previous war, we're not going to have the luxury of being able to do the whole war and then deal with the economics. We're going to have to deal with the economics on the way. We do want to clear tile blockers though. That's going to be helpful in the eventual conquest and capture of all these things. All right, so let's have a look. We have 2 fleets in the area. Which of these planets? This planet has 1,000 garrison, 1,000 garrison, 500 garrison. Oh god, there's just so many huge garrisons. Right, I need you to bombard Joy. Make sure you're on indiscriminate bombard stance. What about you? This is the 1180 garrison. Let's start to bombard these planets. We fully occupied Beige. Let's get these transport fleets merged back up and heading out onto Vivis. We also own this station. I'm probably going to be managing these. This is going to get downgraded, I reckon. Or I could use a frontline shipyard, actually. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to convert this over to be a shipyard. This will be my reinforcing shipyard for this war, which means I'm going to want a fleet academy on here. As for these 2 planets, let's take a look at Joy. Joy is an arid world. Of course, we're naturally going to begin the terraforming process. We probably will never finish that terraforming process, but that's not important. The entire population has been purged, but let's have a look. What do we have? We have lots of resources in surplus, so I think we can safely... we're a little bit light on exotic gases, so anything but a tech world I think will suit us. Let's go ahead and demolish everything. Could I use more Unity? Honestly, I don't think I need more Unity. I should probably be spending more Unity on edicts here. I'm going to go ahead and activate mining subsidies, industrial subsidies, forge subsidies as well. Let's let time tick for a day. So we're now only at a surplus of 1,600. Extended shifts. Yes, I'll take extended shifts. That'll give me more worker output. Exotic gas. Hyper relay networks can give... Yeah, that seems quite good. Okay, automatic resettlement chance, networked amenities. Yeah, we'll eventually get all 3 of these activated. Recycling campaign is an upkeep of 200 energy, but it will lower the population consumer goods upkeep, which means we don't need as many consumer goods. Terraforming gases for terraforming speed, that costs 8 terraforming gases. Exotic gases as fuel. Yeah, we're going to want to get all of these activated. There's a ton of extra bonuses. So that tells me what this new planet is for. This new planet, both of them in fact, these are going to be refinery worlds. So refinery worlds are good for creating strategic resources. Let's get them upgraded. Let's get everything demolished. We want basically everything on these worlds demolished, with the exception of just enough city districts to get maxed out building slots. We're obviously going to want the basics like Psi Corps and the Otto Chthon Monument, but other than that, we're just going to spam out strategic resource production, and in particular, for this particular planet, we will be going for exotic gas refineries. That's what we need here. Let's go ahead and demolish that industrial thing. Otherwise, we want basic workers to be working on these mining districts. As for Bloom, sorry, that was Bloom that I just handled. I'm going to terraform that into an ocean world as well. I don't want to do Mastery of Nature. I would like to increase immigration, so I'm going to distribute luxury goods on these planets to try and pull more population in. Now, on the planet of Joy, we're going to demolish everything on here as well. And this will also be a refinery world, but this one will be for a different resource. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 4 more city districts. And then I'll just spam out a bunch of farms and basic districts. We'll delete the labs. So it'll take a long time for these cities to build up what they need. But we'll go for a Psychor, an Auto Catan Monument. Just we need to keep that unity up so we can sustain our empire. And then for this one, we will go for volatile motes, and we'll see how that planet works out. We did find the remains of an interstellar assembly, which is kind of interesting. We might be able to eventually restore this if we can get control of it. We probably will be able to get control of it, in all honesty. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the luxury of sitting around and bombarding everything that I want. I think I have to be a little bit more aggressive than that, because there are the... Who is this? The Mandrasura High Kingdom is over here too, and it looks like they're looking for blood. So which of these planets should be fairly easy to invade? It'll be easy to invade the Nectar of Hope. Let's get the troops landed. And where is my science ship? I need to gather up these research projects, because these are worth quite a bit of science. We're invading the planet. I'm not expecting to lose any troops on this one. We might lose one. Oh dear. So the star system of Zorf has been destroyed by a Zorf planet destroyer. Is a Borg-like cube that has destroyed a planet. So they collapsed the star here into a black hole. So they're capable of destroying entire star systems. We need to blow that up. All right, this is going to be a harder battle. We'll definitely take some losses here. But we should be able to obliterate most of these planets fairly straightforward. Nectar of Hope is a generator station, and we will keep it that way. This is just another place where we can produce strategic resources. So this is going to be the hardest fight that we've taken on the land yet. This planet will not give up easily. Yeah, I'm taking severe losses. At least some of my units are disengaging. That is one advantage that I have. But yeah, they've blown through a lot of my forces. We have managed to restore the ruined Mega Art installation, which is going to give us a huge amount of unity and a huge amount of amenities across our entire empire, which is a massive, massive boon. That's going to cover up and shore up some of our weaknesses and keep our resources flowing. How's the Praetorian Scourge going? Well, looks like they've taken over the most of the north half of the galaxy. Yeah, that's a little bit of a problem. Oh my goodness, multiple crisis. Sure, isn't that what my empire was built for? Actually, my resort world is now lacking jobs, weirdly enough. So I think I'm going to do a little building upgrading and maybe build a church or two to get a little bit more unity out of this planet. Sure, why not? This Gaia world, I don't know what to do with. Honestly, now that I've said that out loud, Forge World. It's always Forge World. It's always for a Forge World. Turn it into a Forge World. It'll be fine. Forge World can't hurt you. Can only help you. The more alloys we have, the bigger our fleet is, the faster we can reinforce when we take losses. And that's why we're going to need even more shipyards, honestly. Probably be a good idea to upgrade these to be even bigger shipyards here. Looks like the Klen Nation has been destroyed. That's probably been the Praetorian Scourge or someone else's, who knows. We can get started on the mega shipyard. I definitely would like to get that. That would allow me to have a mobile reinforcement platform. It's essentially a giant mobile starbase that can shit out like 10 ships like 10 ships at a time. Really, really powerful. We've taken some losses on our invasion fleets, but the invasion must continue. We need to be even more powerful. Unfortunately, I would have liked to have spin out vassals here, but I'm going to have to be the one in control. God, they have such massive fleets over here that I'm going to have to muster my entire forces to defeat. Their fleets aren't that big to the north, but definitely to the south they have really, really big fleets. I'm going to have to get everyone together to fight them. Non-aggression pacts are being requested, which is totally understandable. Everyone's kind of panicking at the dual crisis that we're dealing with. I could definitely contain the Vivisanda Raveners. My only hope is that by the time the Praetorian Scourge get here, I'm strong enough to face them. Alright, we could use more naval capacity. Let's turn this station into a military station. We also captured Vivisendia Prima. It looks like this was set up to be a tech world, which I'm not entirely against having another one. I do have plenty of consumer goods to use, although I can't really afford to use the gas right now, so I'm going to have to demolish that entire planet. Plus, it'll never grow enough population to really contribute scientifically to my empire. But you can see, because my other planets are really, really full of population, we're getting massive amounts of immigration to these newly conquered worlds. Or we've almost fully invaded all the planets here, but we have taken almost 1,000 power worth of casualties on these troops. Thankfully, I have been building replacements continuously, and they'll be on their way. But we need to catch up to these guys down here, because once they cut through the Monarch sovereign systems, they're going to be inside my territory, and my territory is not particularly well defended from this angle. So I need to get all my fleets mustered and get them moving that right direction. This might be the biggest battle of the war so far. Only 2 of my fleets are in position. Where's my third? My third is almost there. Please God, I need to win this battle. Alright, the battle has begun. Enemy fleets are reinforcing. However, we are evaporating them with our Omega huge cannons. Yep. Okay. Yeah, we just have so much power. We have so much alpha strike that they can't really fight through us. So we've taken control of the Vivis system, and we've dismantled the Etherophasic engine that was being built around the star. So their plan was to invade the Shroud and destroy the galaxy, which is a huge boost of alloys and influence for me. This is a big battle. We're taking losses here. But we did manage to defeat them. Let me have a look at that battle. Holy shit. We lost multiple cruisers, many multiple battleships. They lost so much more though. That was a huge blow to our enemies. Let's go to the fleet manager screen and click reinforce all. We need to just pump alloys into our fleets to get them going. Unfortunately, I don't think we can sit around on our laurels. We need to push. We managed to fully invade Vivis now. We have to invade Abundance, 700 garrison, 1,600 garrison. Okay. Where's the toxic god? This one's not worth invading. Must be a habitable non-artificial planet. Oh, these guys have built a bunch of habitats that I can't just destroy. How annoying. All right, looks like we'll be invading them the old-fashioned way. I need more planets producing armies. Need these psionic super blurgling armies. Right, so that was only the first of many battles. The world destroyer is still over there. I hate that I have to do this, but I'm going to land on probably one of the most perfectly defended planets in the entire galaxy. I'm about to land troops on. This is going to be an absolute bloodbath. Let's have a chat with the Shroud and see what he's got to say for himself. I really need a good bonus here. So summon a psionic avatar or increase happiness. Give me that psionic avatar. A colossal warrior on the surface of Tufson. Oh my god, they eradicated another system. Look how many black holes are here. They're just destroying planets. They're destroying systems. Jesus, we have to catch this thing. We have to. It's blowing up systems faster than like I can recapture them. What the hell? It like teleported. It can teleport? What the hell is that? Right, we've got a major surplus of all of the strategic resources, which means I can come in here and pass an edict perhaps. Improved energy initiative would increase my research and lower my consumer goods at a cost of some unity. Well, I don't have much use for unity now that I've completed my traditions, so I will be spending that. Let's see, we've got a choice between crystalline sensors and focusing crystals. 25% extra energy damage would seem really, really good because I am going to be fighting against beings that are weak to energy damage, it would seem. Extra shield. I think I would like the extra sublight speed, so I do more damage and my ships are faster, which is honestly, that seems like a good expenditure of strategic resources. Okay, we secured Grasping Branch at a major cost to our forces. This is a fairly small station. I'm just going to turn it into a hydroponics bay to keep my empire fed. The amount of population growth that I'm going to be experiencing after conquering all this land is going to be astronomical, so I'm going to want to be prepared for that. I don't know where their super weapon went, but I know I was chasing it down. 10k allies, time to hit the reinforced fleets button. Our fleets are almost fully reinforced, actually, which is quite nice. God, I don't really need pirates at the moment. I really, really don't need pirates at the moment. Their timing is perfectly impeccable to be an absolute maximum pain in my ass. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the starbase in this system once I recapture it. Pirates can't appear in systems that have a starbase, so I'm just going to upgrade a chain of starbases along my systems. We're burning so much cash now because we have just so many unoccupied planets. Not only that, but our empire has become unwieldy and massive and difficult to employ and protect, etc. I really can't wait until the third crisis awakens, this goddamn forgotten empire, the fallen empire that's sitting up here above my borders. Knowing my luck, they will activate. The hell is going on here? Why won't these guys die? They're like invincible. Whatever, I'm not going to waste my time with it. I've got bigger fish to fry. Let's begin the invasion of Abundance. Other players have started to land on and invade planets in this system. Actually, I wonder if I can land my own troops on their invasion. I might be able to snipe this from underneath them, depending on how well these guys can hold a defense. I'm kind of hoping my ally loses this fight, because if he loses the fight, that means I can go in and win it for him and snipe this planet from out from under him. No, he landed fresh reinforcements. That's fine. I'm going to land my armies too. See if I can maybe assist. Yeah, I'm on the planet too. Maybe I can yoink a bit of the glory, steal the planet for myself. We're just killing the routed armies now. Let's have a look down. We're hunting them down. And now it looks like they're occupying it. Well, I need to get the invasion force landed on this planet ASAP then. No time to rest. Get down there. Get invading. We're about to win this battle. And I think I have fully secured this area. Although weirdly enough, they're occupying a planet in here, which I do not like. This is my system, but my allies occupying a planet? That's so odd. Looks like some sort of galactic crusade has actually managed to happen over here at the Praetorian Scourge. And they seem to be pushing them back. Now, to be fair, this is still the Praetorian Vanguard. We're only starting to see star broods appear. So these might be temporary victories. If anything, it's just buying me more time to capture more land from the Vivisanda Raveners that I can use to essentially conquer the galaxy. I don't understand why Raxum was gifted to the Great Zaxoid hierarchy. I don't understand why they were given this chunk of land. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm adjacent to it. I don't know why it was given to... Oh, do you know what happened? Oh, I know what happened. The Mandasura High Kingdom captured that piece of territory, and because they don't have any adjacent territory, they gave it to the closest person. Instead of giving it to me, they gave it to some other AI. Probably, that's what I gotta assume. Very silly in my opinion, if that's what happened. To be fair, I'm only speculating. Ooh, I didn't realize that I had the Javorian Pox bombardment stance. That comes from being in charge of the... this is perfect, because what I can do now is I should be able to bombard away the population from working these warrior jobs, which will reduce the total amount of soldiers. So yeah, I should be able to bombard away the population. That'll work so much better than what I was doing before. Something in this system here that we have found, there's some kind of veiled tunnel. The Jormon Shroud Tunnel. That's kind of an interesting discovery that we might be able to make use of. We've also discovered the Science Nexus. We can make use of that later on, if we can ever find time to build it during this crisis. And we're about to unlock the Tachyon Lance, which has major good damage against armor and hull, which is exactly what we need to take on the Praetorian Scourge. So the Tachyon Lance is going to be the weapon of choice. We're going to have to refit our fleets. Another nation has just been obliterated off the face of the universe, of course, naturally. Just seems to be happening on the daily now. Oh my god, where the fuck did these guys come from? They're like rats. They just came out of nowhere. I thought I had basically exterminated them, and then they popped out of nowhere, and they just depopulated the planet I was on that I captured from them. How? How did you let them get a foothold over here again? Okay, I think we finally stamped them out, and we've managed to take over this entire section of the galaxy. However, meanwhile, the Praetorian Scourge, well, they're being a scourge. They aren't expanding as fast as I was worried about. It seems like these guys seem to be doing okay at holding them off. We've completed the first phase of our Sentry Array, which gives us a large vision of the galaxy. I'm going to go ahead and continue to expand it. Then we'll get the next phase of the project. Now, I don't know if that counts as our construction for... Yeah, we can only build one mega structure at a time, sadly. Honestly, I'd rather be building the mega shipyard, but I've already started the sensor, so I can't change that. Let's take a look at the situation log and see how the victory is coming. The Mandasura are still the strongest in the game, but I'm now the 4th strongest above some of these forgotten empires, fallen empires. I'm tempted to declare war on the Rayub Arbiters. They do have a decent number of planets, and if I were to yoink those planets for myself, that'd be quite nice. Although, unfortunately, these planets are full to the brim with soldiers, literally bristling with soldiers. Soldiers coming out every orifice on these planets. Right, so it's time to design ships that can actually fight against the Scourge. Now, as far as I am aware, the Scourge are weak against ships that have energy weapons and armor. So let's go ahead and redesign our battleships. We want all energy weapons. So it'll be Tachyon Lances and I believe neutron launchers. That will be our front line here. I have to wait until my battleships are done being constructed before I can retool them. That's okay, we'll eventually get around to it. We are not in a rush. The rest of the galaxy is. Now, what I need to do is I need to catch one of these fleets on their own. I need to catch one of these fleets on their own, and then I need to research their technology to be able to use it against them. These Scourgelings are terrifying. Now, as far as I'm aware, they use a lot of small Zerg-like flyers, so it could be good for me to design a destroyer designed around being picket, in particular with flak cannons on it. Yeah, if I gave it like 3 flak cannons, as much armor as will fit, as well as a regenerative hull plating so that the armor will rebuild. I think this might be the almost perfect counter to the Praetorian Scourge in terms of destroyers. Let me rename that to the Screen class destroyer. I'll also need a new type of battleship, but I'll sort that out in a moment. Oh shit, my fleets were not meant to engage. I must have forgot to take them off engage. This is not good. I'm about to lose like maybe 40,000 alloys. Oh shit, I wasn't ready to fight the Praetorian. I wasn't set up for this. I mean, I got some skills, but that was not what the plan was supposed to be. Whoops. Wait, more fleets are coming? Hold on. That's not what I was telling you to do. Get the hell out of there. Do not go there. Do not go there. Go home. Jesus Christ. Okay, that was a massive loss of minerals I just did there. Whoops. I may have, we sent our troops into a suicide mission with a misclick. Look, it happens to the best of us. Okay, the Vivisanda Raveners are finally done, so that galactic threat is over now, which I'm very, very happy about. We've finished building the battleship. Let's go ahead and modify it now. We want a Tachyon Lance with 4 neutron blasters. I don't think, yeah, that's the best I'm going to do. Now we want only armor. Their weapons are only good, or their weapons are weak to armor. We definitely want to have at least 1 regenerative hull plate in here so that we can restore our health as we go. In terms of cruisers, I think we want a very specific setup of missile cruisers. We want flak cannons to be able to take out enemy stuff. We want whirlwind missiles and then plasma accelerators with advanced strike craft. This setup should be the ideal. Slap on as much armor as we possibly can onto this bad boy. 1 regenerative hull plating so that we can repair. Advanced afterburner so the ship moves faster. By the way, our ships are like insanely fast thanks to the afterburners and the thrusters. So this should be our fleet doctrine, I think. Combination of picket ships, carriers, and extremely long-range battleships. Let's get the fleets upgraded to the new fleet doctrine. It's going to take us a little while. Every single one of these needs to be upgraded to the fleet doctrine. Now we need to go to the actual fleet manager. Make sure we add a few destroyers to each fleet. Just a couple will be enough. Otherwise, we just reinforce the fleet. We're in good shape. The Forellian organism which are these guys right over here. They are asking me if they can become my vassal. I'm going to go ahead and accept that. However, I don't know if I'm going to be able to defend you guys. Good luck. But I'll take your vassalhood. So yeah, we need to capture one star brood on its own. Our fleets are in retrofit. And we're going to go try and take on a Praetorian Scourge. I just want to kill one ship and get their tech researched. So, let's see. I'm tempted to form a federation here with the Mandusira High Kingdom. Now, we could form a Galactic Union, which would be fine, or we could form a Martial Alliance. They would not accept a hegemony without me using things, but the problem is that they would probably become the leader, which is not what we want. I don't even know if we want a Martial Alliance. Yeah, let's do it. Martial Alliance. Let's start the federation. They should accept. So we are the leaders of the Pan-Galactic Treaty Organization, which is a bit like Space NATO. Our first bonus here will be extra experience on our ships, and we build our ships faster. Soon, we will get to level 2. We'll get larger Federation fleets, more space, more speed in space rather, and then claim influence cost. And as we upgrade our Federation, we will get new bonuses all the way up to here. For example, where we get extra diplomatic weight, we get extra damage to endgame crises, extra contribution to Federation naval capacity. Speaking of Federation ship naval capacity, we also have various laws that we can change, and it'll take a very long time before we can change most of these laws. But now we have Federation ships that will use the technology of all of our ships. Now I'm going to go ahead and design the ideal Federation fleet for taking on this crisis. And the cool thing about designing these ships is it actually uses technology. It uses the highest level technology from every single civ. So early game, if you like focus on one type of tech and then your friend focuses on another and you guys join a Federation together, you can actually make super powerful ships with technology that you normally wouldn't have access to. So, right, I have fully designed all of the ships in the fleet to use only armor and energy weapons, and we are ready to fight the good fight. Talk to the Shroud again. What are you going to give me? Ooh, increased fire rate. Now that's handy. 20% fire rate for a few years. I'll take that deal. So if we look here, the Praetorian have infested 3 worlds. They have cleansed 0 worlds. We've exterminated 46 of their ships. Others have destroyed 240. We have seen over 1,600 ships get consumed by the Void. The Scourge, rather. Genuinely terrifying stuff. Right, this is the moment we've been waiting for. Our entire fleets are ready. I just need to find a science ship in the local area. There you are. Let us prepare to make a fight with the Praetorian Scourge. I'm also going to see if I can bring a couple of construction ships and a couple of extra science ships along the way. We might need to claim some territory to act as a forward base. This time it isn't a misclick. I actually am sending my troops this way. I need to start beating back the Praetorian Scourge before they start getting a much bigger foothold. They're already kind of, I don't know, they're just really scary. It's really, really scary. Now, the big problem we have is we have a massive collection of fleets here because they seem to have landed here and gotten stuck a few times. Which is, you know, that's going to be really, really fun to have to break this, to have to come after these guys. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fleet stacks here, and I have to beat them. Now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fleet stacks, and my armies are also specifically designed to counter the Praetorian Scourge. The fleets are assembled. Let's make the first attempt at a counterattack. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm hoping that it goes well. We have been stacking lots of modifiers like ship fire rate and all that sort of stuff, and we have perfectly designed our ships to counter the Praetorian Scourge. But I'm going to be honest with you, I've never actually gone up against a crisis because I usually get bored of the game. Okay, well, we're firing. No peace, must feed. They've made the last one. They've hunted us, survivors. What does Praetorian mean, survivors? We will scour your kind from this galaxy. So this is them. The battle has begun. Our ships heavily outrange them, so we have begun firing. I'm going to slow this down so we can actually watch the battle unfold as missiles are fired. Ooh, we have captured a brood queen, which means now if I go to society management, we have a relic. A Praetorian brood queen. Her passive effect is a 50% more. Ooh, I can spawn a Praetorian fleet using that. That is interesting. And I think the fact that we have built a counter fleet. Oh no, now we're starting to take damage. It's only destroyers getting hit though. So far. I don't know why my ships are closing in to melee range. That doesn't make any sense to me. We're shredding. We're shredding. Carriers at the back here are doing work. We're shredding. We're shredding. We beat them. 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 Swarm strikers and large scourge missile. Okay, this is the first victory against the Scourge. The dangerous end game, late game threat. We're going to hang around in orbit of this thing for a while. We're going to go to normal speed and start reinforcing our fleets. It's going to cost us 18,000 minerals, or alloys rather. So our fleets will slowly repair. They do have auto repair. Oh, here comes another fleet, but we obliterated it with our long-range tachyon lances. That's perfect. It's exactly what we want to happen. I think we're going to have to start bringing transport fleets to invade the Scourge worlds. And now I'm going to bring the Toxic God, because I might just blow up some of the Scourge worlds. And I might count it as a win. I know, I'll have to think about that. Ruined orbital rings. Jesus. They've infested this world. I might have to just, like, eradicate infested worlds. I don't know how the Praetorian Scourge exactly works. Ah, amazing. So, the relic world that we found, we have managed to return it to Ecumenopolis status, which is incredible. It has a 20% boost to resources from jobs, 50% extra pop growth. Now, the big problem with Ecumenopolis is you can't actually gather basic resources here. You can, however, create the greatest either, Unity world, the greatest factory world, the greatest foundry world that the world has ever known. Now, I was planning on using this as a tech world, which I still think is totally reasonable. But a single district now on this planet is worth 10 housing per district. Oh baby, that is huge. I mean, a residential arcology is worth 24 housing. There's so much population potential here. Yeah, this city is going to fill up, dude. I think my fleets have more or less recovered the majority of their health, and so we will begin the anti-Praetorian crusade anew. There's a fleet over here that we need to take out. We should be able to vaporize this basically on contact. We have extremely long range weapons that counter their build, so the first salvo should just go to us, and our hope now is that we can carry through and just continuously do that. So I'm wondering what happens when can we even land armies? I don't know how to deal with these planets. So it looks like the only way to stop this is to bombard the planet until the infested world has been turned into a barren world. So I'm going to leave a fleet on bombing duty and make my way to the next infested planet. Let's talk to the Shroud again. Ooh, increased happiness? I'll take the increased happiness. 25% happiness over that period of time will just give me a huge amount of resources across my empire. So these are the Scourge missiles. They do 31 damage per day. They have huge evasion, huge whole hit points. They penetrate shields. They do extra armor damage. And then these are the Swarm Strikers. Shield penetration, armor penetration. Ooh, the Toxic God's attack swarm. Very cool. I wonder if the Toxic God is related to the Praetorians. Looks like the galaxy has come together, and we are pushing back the Scourge. They didn't really get much of a chance to get a foothold. We were kind of prepared for them. The Scourge went out with a whimper. I think this was just a normal strength Scourge. It might have been like slightly stronger than usual, but it wasn't anything special. But yeah, I think I'm going to consider that the end of this campaign. I've managed to show off the Toxic God. I showed off building an empire. I showed off conquering. I showed off multiple crises. This is just a matter of like walking my ships around to kill this crisis, and then it would be a matter of triggering some kind of end game condition. This game doesn't really have win conditions. It would just be kind of waiting for another 100 years for the end condition to trigger. But I would say, like, considering I am the second most powerful empire in the galaxy in terms of score, soon to be rank 1 based on my empire's trajectory. Now remember, these guys had like 4 or 5 times my score, or maybe it was double my score at one point in the game. So the major comeback that I've already pulled off, I think could show that I could conquer this galaxy. But I'm going to call that the end of the series and the end of this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this little foray into Stellaris. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.